What's up guys, it is Logan. Welcome back to Logan's Tech Review. Today we are going to go over my Tesla Model 3. I've had it for about a year now. I was planning on making videos on this, but needless to say, I figured the Tesla videos online was a little oversaturated. Here we are a year later, and I figured I'd go over what I've had wrong with my car. I know this video is probably going to come off very negative because I've had quite a lot of issues, but ultimately I love my car. There's not a single thing I would change about the physical car itself, other than maybe not as many issues, but you can judge that for yourself. So we're going to go ahead and jump in the car and then kind of go over what all happened for me. I guess let me start off by speaking about my delivery day. The delivery day was quite interesting. I picked up my Model 3. It's a 2019 Model 3. I picked it up in September. I know it's not quite a year. So we got August. Well, it's pretty much a year because it was like September 9th. By the time I post this video, it'll probably be right at a year. But I went up to Charlotte, North Carolina Delivery Center to pick up my Model 3, and the very first day, the vehicle that I was originally supposed to get, we were doing a walk around visual inspection, which if you were getting a Tesla, make sure you look for everything. I mean, I would spend an hour just looking the car over for anything and everything just to make sure you're covered. But the very first car that I was going to get, it had a lot of paint issues, and when we started going around, Tesla was gonna we'll take care of it, we'll get it all fixed. I'm very particular about my vehicles, so no, I don't want a fixed car when I'm buying a new car. So one thing led to another. They ended up having the exact same vehicle on the lot that I have, which I have the Tesla Model 3 dual range. There's nothing really special about it. I didn't get the performance rims. I didn't do anything. Black interior, basic car. And so they had another car on the lot that they were going to swap it out with. I was like, awesome, that's great. Well, I get to the second car. Well, before they even bring the second car out, they come up to me and say, sir, we have an issue. The replacement vehicle that we're going to put you in has a cracked roof. But they have the roof in stock, and they're just going to swap it out. And I was like, again, I'm not funny about having a fixed car. Well, it is just a glass roof. I viewed it as if it was like a windshield, just easy replacement, whatever. I'd already driven 2 hours to the delivery center, service center, whatever you want to call it. So I was like, okay, that's fine. How long will that take? I'm not sure the exact time frame, but we got there at 10 in the morning. 8, so that means I left my house around 8. Keep in mind, I had to take my parents with me, so I wouldn't have to leave a vehicle up there, essentially. They ended up taking quite a while to replace the roof. But I'm like, whatever, we're already here. I'd rather go eat lunch or something for an hour or two than to drive back and forth, driving back and forth, back and forth. Well, little did I know, driving back and forth was going to be the new norm. So after 1,800 miles, we'll actually go back from the entire time. Once I got home and I started looking at the car, I realized how all the body parts were not aligned. So the doors were not aligned, the front bumper wasn't aligned, the trunk wasn't aligned, and I was like, whatever, Tesla will eventually fix it when I take it back up there. So I take the car back up there, but there's a reason why I had to take the car back up there. After 1,800 miles, the vehicle, actually I guess probably after 1,500, maybe 12 to 1,500 miles, I'm not sure exactly when this issue started to actually occur, but in autopilot, every time you would engage autopilot, it would take a hard right. I mean, the steering wheel would literally jerk right off the road. Well, I took the car up there, actually, it was probably less than 1,000 miles, because I took the car up there to Charlotte. Just, I'm brand new car. This was within the first 2 weeks of ownership. And I was like, well, let me just run it by there. I didn't have anything to do that day, so I drove 2 hours up there. Keep in mind, autopilot was not functional, so I couldn't use autopilot the entire time. So I got up there, and they said there's nothing wrong with the vehicle. They just did a quick look at it, typed in the VIN on their little iPad, did a quick look. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the vehicle, sent me on my way. Well, there clearly was an issue with the car. So I took the car back up there at 1,800 miles, and I refused to just have them quickly look at the car. I wanted them to truly dive into the car and figure it out. Well, finally, they were able to reproduce the issue. Keep in mind, it wasn't hard to reproduce. All they had to do was test drive the car, which they never did the first time. So after 1,800 miles, they replaced the computer. So I'm not sure what that entails, but on the sheet, I'll put the sheet up on the screen right now. It'll show what hardware part that they used. And I was kind of annoyed, This service, computer replacement diagnostic, the car was in the shop from October 2nd, 2019, all the way until October 17th, 2019. So over 2 weeks, my car just set up at the service center while they tried to figure out what the issue was. And finally, on that October 17th, they immediately replaced the computer and the car was all good. Why they didn't immediately replace the computer at the beginning, I don't know. But even after the computer replacement, I continued to have some little issues here and there. One issue I had was the speakers would just pop real loud and just all silent completely. No audio whatsoever for the remainder. And the only resolution of that was doing the reset of the computer, and you do that by holding the 2 scroll wheels until the T logo appears on the screen. Well, that was kind of annoying because it would go pow, all audio, even the little ding ding sound that pops up when you turn autopilot on, none of that worked. So you'd reset the computer and all the sound would come back and we were good to go. On top of that, I had the GPS was stuck at home. This was in February 2020. Keep in mind, I picked up my car in September 2019. So the GPS was like stuck at home on the map, on the screen. It was just stuck at my house. Wouldn't move. Not sure. It would then just randomly work, 15 miles later. Not sure what actually caused that other than a software glitch. Tesla never could figure out anything. Nothing was ever replaced. But I haven't had the issue in a couple months now. So that's a plus one. So there are a lot of software glitches with these cars, and they release these software updates and they slowly fix them. At 11,691 miles, this was in March of 2020, my driver's side seat had a seatbelt issue, and it would say something about left front safety seatbelt harness failure or something along those lines. And Tesla comes out and replaces a wiring harness. I haven't had the issue since. Also, the front passenger seat belt at 19,268 miles. This was August 6th, 2020, so recently actually. There was the same issue with the front passenger seat, and they came in and installed they installed a wire filter on the line. Not sure what that means. I'll put the part number up on the screen. But ultimately, I've had a lot of issues with my car. You name it, I've had it. But this Tesla is a new car company. They haven't been in the business that long. I think they have a lot of improvement they need to do on the service side of things. But ultimately, I absolutely love my car. I would never go back to any other car. And I'm not about the electric gas argument. That doesn't really affect me. I will say I have not had to go to a gas station or anything in quite a long time, which has been awesome. You'd be surprised how much time you waste at a gas station. I plug my car up at night in my garage, and I wake up, I keep my car maxed out at 75%. If you have a Tesla, you'll know that you want to keep it within a safe range, or it can cause battery degradation, which I have had some battery degradation. I think my car, which was advertised at 310 miles, can only get around 295 miles now. but that curve, I noticed that I had a lot of range loss at the beginning, and now it's kind of flattened out. So I'm hoping it'll stick around this 295 for, several years to come. As of right now, I have 20,019 miles on my car. So I've put 20,000 miles on it in the first year. I have driven many, many different places here in the Southeast, and I've never really had a time whenever I'm kind of close to running dead. There was one time that I got my car down to around 9%, which if you're in the Tesla community, a lot of people will go down to 1%. Me, I'm too cautious for that. So furthest I've got it down was 9%, and that was me driving from Columbia, South Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina and back. So I drove there and back and left my car sitting in a parking lot all day with Sentry Mode on, which I'm not sure if you guys know what Sentry Mode is. Sentry Mode is an awesome feature within the car. It kind of is your car's security system, and it records incidents outside the car. But it does use more power because it leaves the computer running to analyze these cameras. But it is well worth it, and Sentry Mode has actually saved me before. I was at the gym one time, and a man opened his car door into mine, not once, but twice. He claims he never did it. The police department is looking for him for questioning, but that's been months ago. That occurred in January of 2020. Here it is August of 2020. And I haven't heard anything, so I don't think much is going to occur with that. But the quote for the repairs, if I were to take it to a Tesla authorized service center or authorized repair center, the cost was around $4,700, and they would repaint the whole side of the car. It's part of owning a car, I guess. Parking in a parking lot isn't the best place for the vehicle, especially when other people don't value your possessions like you do. So that's my 1 year summary of my Tesla Model 3. I highly recommend these cars. It is literally the most fun car. That's not really the best way to say it. Most fun car I've ever had. The 0 to 60 is amazing. I do have the acceleration booster. It brings the 0 to 60 down to 3.9 seconds, but it also eats the tires up. So I have had to have new tires at 18,000 miles. They were around $1,200, and I got discount tires in Columbia to do them. But yeah, so that's my Tesla Model 3 year one experience. After getting through the new car issues, which is very common with Tesla, they don't have a very great quality assurance program. Once you get through those issues, you'll end up with a car that you absolutely love. Alright, so there you have it. That is my 1 year summary of my Tesla Model 3, the issues I've had. Ultimately, I absolutely love my Tesla Model 3. I would recommend it to anyone, everyone. I think the builds now have gotten a little bit better as far as quality control. I think it's with any car. I'm a very particular person, so I'm going to nitpick on anything and everything because I'm such a perfectionist, so I want it all to be completely perfect. Obviously, that's not always the case. You can't have perfection in everything. Tesla did end up fixing all the alignment issues on my car doors, trunk lid. After the replacement of the computer, I've had no further, real issues besides software glitches with the system. Autopilot is absolutely amazing. It reduces the fatigue while you're driving substantially. You can't go wrong with it. I definitely would recommend a Tesla to everyone. The Model Y is now out, which is exciting. It offers a little bit more space on the interior of the car. I personally haven't had a chance to check one out, but a friend of mine plans on getting one in the next couple weeks. So I will hopefully be going up there to the Charlotte Service Center in North Carolina to pick that up with him. So that's kind of exciting, but ultimately the Tesla Model 3 is an amazing car. The acceleration is amazing. I do have the acceleration booster. I'll actually show on the screen right here everything that I do have. I have full self-driving. Put some air quotes around that, full self-driving. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to it, hit the like button. After you subscribe, hit the bell, anything and everything to help that YouTube algorithm. I greatly appreciate it. Check out some of my other videos. They honestly are nothing like this, but I figured I needed to release something since it's been so long. Thank you guys for staying with me. Again, go check out the Tesla. I will put a link down below for my referral code. You at least would, as of right now, would get 1,000 miles of free supercharging. Currently, I have unlimited supercharging, so I don't get the big benefit of referrals, other than maybe to be entered in some drawings. I greatly appreciate the support from you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.